Welcome, fans, to the PW Fan. The PW Fan is a podcast created by fans for the fans, and we appreciate you listening to episode 177. I'm your host, the architect of pro wrestling podcast, Booker Andy.
And I'm also your host, the No Sellers Indie fan and football lover, Jeremy.
And our third host, my brother Tim, will join us here in a little bit. He's running a little late, but that's not going to stop us from getting started. So this week, we're going to be talking about the start of the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which isn't taking place. I believe last year it was the King and Queen of the Ring like pay-per-view, but it's now Night of Champions instead of
it's just in the same place though.
Yeah, because there's going to be more important matches. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. John Cena, CM Punk, Will Ospreay, and Swerve Strickland. A couple other things. So, but let's get right into it, starting with AEW Dynamite this week, which I think same as last week. It was like a summer showdown.
4-hour show.
Yeah, they looked at it as like 1 4-hour show because I think both weeks the last match in Dynamite rolled over into what is technically Collision.
Yeah, and they also don't have another pay-per-view until July, right? Because that's all in. Yeah. So they do these specials.
Yep. So surprisingly, they opened up with Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, 30-minute time limit draw. 30-minute time limit draw in the end, which doesn't hurt either guy. Ospreay and Swerve went blow for blow. At one point, Swerve was handcuffed and super kicked repeatedly, even kicking Ospreay with tacked up boots. Ospreay protected Swerve by taking a thumbtack super kick. This showed a little bit of respect. But match ended with a standoff. Maybe possible future tag team?
That'd be kind of... I mean, they better win like every match then.
Yeah.
The ending to me was like, because they didn't like build it up. I felt like enough as in like announcing it. Because I think it was just the commentators like, oh, they got 30 seconds, and the crowd had no idea. And then they're like, all right, that's done.
Whenever it does this, it almost always ends in a draw, at least on AEW.
Yeah.
But I'm going to skip all the way to the main event. There's matches in between, but the main event wasn't a match. It was a contract signing. Kenny Omega versus Okada at All In is happening. There was a contract signing. Tony Schiavone mediated the segment. They signed for their winner-take-all match to unify the Continental and International title. Did they also show what the title looked like, right? The new one?
Yeah, they unveiled it, yeah.
Don Callis would interrupt. Okada would blindside Omega with the title belt. And Baton they would send him to a stretcher, which would set the tone for Collision, because this would, I believe, roll into Collision right away. So Collision would pick up with Okada doing the baton shot to Omega on the stretcher. Christopher Daniels would confront Okada, who gave him a brutal strike, and then fled into the crowd. So how do you feel about the title that they're gonna?
It's funny because like the title does look nice. I do like it, and like I always like how AEW designs their belts. I think, but also I'm like, I don't how many belts do they have now? Because it feels like it's like every so often
or after the.
I guess because like is it one of those things where it's like if you have both of the belts of both of these belts that they have, then you get this one, or is it they're just combining it?
So after this, they're gonna have 2 men's, 2 women's, and 2 sets of tag teams because there's the trios and the regular.
Mm-hmm.
So 6.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Women's is just the women's and the TBS.
Yeah.
And the men's, it'll be this, and so this will just be their second tier.
Yeah.
In the end.
Which, I mean, it does look nice. I like it, so hopefully I just keep it as 1, and then that's fine then. But
continuing on though, which
also seeing who's on Raw right now, I'm just like,
I'm not watching. I feel like Goldberg's coming back tonight. You were like, yeah, it's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. No,
is it? Oh.
No.
We'll get into it though. Kyle Fletcher defeated Anthony Bowens with an assist from Lance Archer, I believe. We had Tony Storm defeating Julia Hart in a pretty good match. Mercedes would attack Tony Storm afterwards. I believe they're the match at All In because Mercedes won the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
And the main event, Don Callis family, Takeshita, Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, and Hechisero defeated Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. With the referee distraction by Takeshita, and Archer was able to get the victory. So some tension going into All In. But let's get into Raw. I wish that Tim was here to talk about it because, man,
that was good.
The best thing going on right now is Cena and fucking. It's just everything, dude.
Especially SmackDown.
Yeah, that was he cooked him.
Well, you know why I think it's why all of a sudden it picked up is because who keeps coming out and talking to him?
Talking to who?
Cena.
Oh yeah, Punk.
Yeah, because like he said, I mean, I know we'll get to it, but like he said in SmackDown, he's like, here's CM Punk to make it watchable.
He said once again, make it more interesting, or palatable.
Palatable.
Yeah. All right. So Raw this past week. Let's see here. So John Cena opened up the show. Talked about his loss at Money in the Bank in the tag match, blaming keyboard warriors, and he dismissed R-Truth's interference. CM Punk would interrupt, stated that he wanted Cena one-on-one. I believe, challenged him that night.
He did.
Cena said, no, we'll do it at Night of Champions. Seth Rollins would end up coming out at the end of the segment with the Money in the Bank briefcase, holding it up, taunting both, saying, I can cash it any time, tonight, next week, or while you're both too busy arguing like it's 2011. But during this promo segment, Cena said, you are all spineless keyboard warriors. Let's see. When Punk came out, Punk would say, are you comfortable, John? Because I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest, which is obviously how the pipe bomb promo started. Yeah. Punk said, I'm here to defend the people. Are you mad because the establishment picked you, but the people never did? And then Punk said, I have to become the monster to stop the monster. A+ opener. Fantastic.
Well, is this also the Raw where Cena said something about seeing you in Saudi Arabia? Or in Saudi?
Yeah, because that's where Nine Champions is happening. So that's where Yeah.
But that's also because, Punk was like always against all WWE going there for the longest time.
Remember he said something about sucking a blood money covered
to the Miz.
Yeah.
And Cena, I think, actually posted
controversy about that online about how he said that and now he's going.
Yeah. I know. That one is kind of like, I'm like, all right. I guess he has to do it though.
Let's see. Next, we had Becky Lynch celebrating her Intercontinental title win. She mocked Lyra Valkyria for not being ready for the big time. Lyra would come out. We had a return, though. Bayley made a return to Raw after Becky is the one that, I believe, attacked her so that she couldn't make it to Mania. Bayley would said, I was supposed to headline WrestleMania until you made sure I didn't. She tried to hit the Rose Plant, but Becky escaped through the crowd as Valkyria stepped up and blocked Bayley. So Bayley is back, and we're probably going to get like a triple threat for the title.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like the women's division and feuds and everything starting to kind of pick up a little bit, especially with
King or the tournament.
Yeah, the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah. All right. After that, we had, I believe, our first Queen of the Ring Fatal 4-Way qualifier.
Also, sorry, real quick. What do they get if they win King or Queen of the Ring? Is it a title shot?
Title shot. That's how Gunther got the title from Damian Priest. He won that, and then...
That's right.
Yeah. Because remember, there was two things in Saudi last year. There was like that big belt that people won.
Yeah, that ridiculous looking one.
And there was also the crown.
Yeah, because you're right. They did call it. What'd they call it? Did they call it King and Queen of the Ring as of the pay-per-view?
No, that was just the crown jewel title for the big one. But the pay-per-view
Oh, okay.
itself was King, Queen of the Ring.
Okay, yeah.
So that's our next pay-per-view before SummerSlam, which is 2 nights long. But King of the Ring, first Fatal 4-Way qualifier. These are all Fatal 4-Way qualifiers. So we had Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan versus Roxanne Perez. Winner was Roxanne Perez, which I believe Raquel tried to help, but it backfired, and Liv would end up getting mad at her later for it. But Roxanne, backstage was like, well, at least one of us won, bringing it to Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So Roxanne's moving on. We had the return segment of R-Truth. He came out to a big ovation wearing all black. Was this when he stood on the table and cut his hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So during the segment, he would stand on the table at the end and chop all of his dreads off. He thanked the fans for bringing him back, talking about the release or the fan backlash from his release. He dropped the R-Truth game. He said, this isn't a gimmick. I'm not dancing. I'm not rapping. This is the real me. I'm Ron Killings. Some other things he did
Which is a great name.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he used to go by that.
That's what I don't know if he went by it.
R-Truth was like the PG era name.
Yeah. Was he at that in WWE, though? Ron Killings before?
Mm-hmm. He was in WWE in the old, when SmackDown first started and they had the oval Titantron.
Yeah.
He was there. He was there then. He was in TNA.
He was on, wasn't he on ECW, WWE's version of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's been everywhere. He's been around forever.
Yeah. Because people don't realize he's in his 50s.
Yeah, I think I looked it up the other day. He was 52, maybe.
Yeah, crazy.
But he said during the segment, don't let nobody tell you your voice doesn't matter. He said, R-Truth can be too funny all the time. R-Truth can be too nice, and he's too forgiving. Not me. R-Truth, the truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings. I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name. And that's how we ended.
It's a great line.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was the best thing R-Truth fucking...
Yeah. He went on Busted Open Radio. I don't know if you saw a clip of that. But he started going off on Bubba because he's like, don't call me R-Truth. He's like, what did I say about that fucking name? And he's started cursing. I was like, oh,
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
He's also he doesn't have a shirt on too, so he looks crazy because he's in his living room yelling at him.
Oh, okay. He did it over live thing. Then we had a King of the Ring Fatal 4-Way qualifier. Sami Zayn versus Penta versus Braun Breaker versus Dominic. Sami Zayn would come out victorious. And I don't know, with it being Saudi Arabia and his heritage and stuff, do you think he goes all the way to the finals?
Yeah, it would be kind of nice, but I don't think he wins, no.
And then you have him versus Gunther. Dude, if fucking Goldberg comes back, faces Gunther, and wins, in
he's going to.
I'm gonna fucking.
I already know part of what had just happened, so half of that could be right.
What? Something happened on Raw?
Yes, but also, do you know the Saturday Night Main Event when they said that Goldberg's going to wrestle on is July 12th, which is the same date as All In. I don't know. How do you? What do you think about WWE doing more? Because they've been the one who's are scheduling those things after AEW. It's definitely on purpose.
Yeah, I know. It used to be AEW, didn't it?
Yeah. Now it's kind of WWE's scheduling those things.
I'm sure it's the company and not Triple H scheduling it. That's not really
TKO.
Yeah, he's creative, I think.
TKO also there's a match on Raw that I just saw, and it's brought to you by Cash App. I was like, dude, why? This is hard to watch sometimes. Tim's here.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We were just talking a little bit, even though I don't have it on. Goldberg is back. God damn it.
God.
I know.
This is how you want to start? Listen, all this terrible stuff going on in the world, and WWE's response is like, you know what the people need to take their mind off this?
Goldberg.
Luckily, it's his retirement match, so he says.
You know, he's definitely going to win then, right?
What if he wins the title?
And then they're going to like he's going to vacate the title and then have a tournament for it because that's the easy thing to do.
Well, let's finish.
And then TKO can sponsor it round by round.
Well, I know the people listening can relate, and thank God for wrestling. Am I right? In these times, you need an escape.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, we were talking about Goldberg returning. Well, there was a return, actually, because they were in Arizona. Nikki Bella returned to her hometown.
Is that where she lives?
At least she used to, for a little bit when like her and Brie lived next to each other. She also grew up in Arizona.
When she was with Cena. Oh no, Cena lives in Florida.
Yeah, I think she lives in California now, but this is her hometown. She was there to promote upcoming Evolution 2 event. She praised younger talent like Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer, which she mispronounced. But she left out Liv Morgan's name. Liv would interrupt, mocking Nikki's failed marriage. And then Liv would attack Nikki, lay her out with the Oblivion, and this teased a match between the two at Evolution. But the big takeaway and the shock, I think, was the main event, World Heavyweight Championship, Jey Uso versus Gunther. Gunther would defeat Jey Uso with a sleeper hold. Gunther is now a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. Jay's son watched on as he got choked out. Jey Uso's reign ends after 51 days, and I think the consensus is that it was done because the bigger match is Goldberg versus Gunther, which they set up a while ago.
I was going to say that, and also like, why can't they just push Goldberg back? It's not like it's like a huge storyline. He's going to do like one show.
Dude, the Prince wants Goldberg.
Is it in Saudi Arabia? I thought it was on main event.
Night of Champions is, but if it ends up being,
dude, and I don't want to sound ignorant to the to the geography. How close is Saudi Arabia to like some of the other stuff that's going on?
Like right next door, I believe.
Bro,
that's pretty
Iran.
Close.
Fuck, there's no way you'd be getting me to go over there, dude. I don't care.
All right, so it goes Saudi and then Iraq and then Iran right here.
Did you look it up?
But then you have Saudi, Jordan, Israel. So
here's the thing. I'm a barber. If they were like, "Yo, we'll offer you," I'm gonna be honest. If they were like, "We'll give you $1 million to come over and like cut some hair," I'd be like, "Nah."
You would do it.
No, I'm not doing it. First of all, I don't even like flying. I have a deathly fear of flying.
What if
have for my whole life? So that's step one. That's too long of a flight.
Never fly that far. Yeah.
Yeah, Andy already knows. I would never fly that far.
What if they paid for everything and they made it like first class, so you don't even? It's like a whole bed you get.
That is how those like flights, the United Emirates.
Yeah, so it's not. It doesn't feel like you're on a plane.
Little pod and you lay down.
I would have to like break my sobriety for that flight. I have to crack open a couple whiskeys. There's no way.
A couple Steve Weisers.
Yeah. Well, you would have to do it before you go there, because isn't it?
Oh, shit, dude. Fuck.
Try it.
Nah, yeah.
So, Jared,
it's just no. Fuck more.
Jeremy, you got Raw on?
Now it's not. Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch once we're done. All right. Well, that wrapped up Raw. Let's get into what I know we definitely. I mean, I feel like it blew up the internet a little bit. Cena and Punk was on the show. Fantastic.
So good.
One of the best Smackdowns.
So
John Boy.
So let's get into it.
I missed it.
All right. John Cena opened. He recapped Money in the Bank. And the criticism from Cody Rhodes and Punk. Let's see here. I know I feel like things are out of whack in my notes, but so Cena talked about how he's been a step ahead of everyone the whole time, and he said that he put Punk in a corner by making him fight at Saudi Arabia. Maybe that has to do with the whole like real life thing about what Punk had said in the past about the blood money.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
So that's why you made it. That's how they're doing it. Cena would also put himself on Mount Rushmore 4 times in the beginning. Then Cody Rhodes would come out, said Cena was right about everything, said, but also reminded Cena that he's the one that pinned him at Money in the Bank. Randy Orton then came to the ring, said he's determined to get another title shot by winning King of the Ring, and that it doesn't matter who he has to go through to get it. Mentioning Cody Rhodes in the process and how much he loves him, but he will do what he can to get to Cena. LA Knight then came out, voiced his opinion. Cena would end up leaving without saying a word. As he was walking up the aisle, R-Truth would attack him. Sorry, Ron Killings would attack him and do a little bit of a beatdown to him. This would lead into the first men's King of the Ring qualifier of the night, which was Randy Orton, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interrupted in the match, taking out Knight before Randy Orton hit the RKO on Carmelo Hayes for the win. Really bummed Aleister did not win. There's been some backlash lately that they're not building new stars and they just keep doing like Randy and Cena and Seth. And
well, I mean, Aleister Black, I don't know, nothing's really happened with him, has it?
No, I mean, he's still on every show.
Yeah, but also he just wrestles and then most of the time he loses, doesn't
he? Him, LA, and Aleister were kind of having a thing, I thought.
Yeah.
Or maybe Aleister
but also another
LA and then
someone I thought was would be in a different spot was Carmelo Hayes right now.
By now, yeah.
Because it's I don't really care much about his feuds right
now. So then we had a Queen of the Ring quarterfinal: Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Piper Niven, and Michin. I called this from the beginning when I saw who's. I was like, Jade Cargill's winning, which she did. My prediction is that she goes all the way to the end, of course. And I thought she was going to go and face Charlotte Flair possibly at the end, but that's not what happened because we had another Queen of the Ring quarterfinal: Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Candice LeRae, and Alba Fire, in which Alexa Bliss won, not Charlotte Flair. So that's not happening yet. Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill will happen, but it's not happening quite yet. Naomi, who's Miss Money in the Bank, teased cashing in on Tiffany Stratton, talking about how Tiffy once impeded her title victory. Tiffany would come out, which made Nia Jax confront her and attack her. This would then lead to our final match of the night, which was, I believe, the King of the Ring quarterfinal. Actually, my notes are way out of order, guys. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Jacob Fatu addressing his betrayal to Solo. Fatu explained his Money in the Bank betrayal of Solo Sikoa, talking about all the resentment. They also showed the all gas, no brains clip. Solo appeared and challenged Fatu and said he must publicly confess his love for Solo next week or leave the bloodline.
Also, Solo slowly has becoming a hilarious character.
Dude, I've been saying it for so long. He's hilarious.
The
faces he makes and everything.
I know. And also when he cut off Fatu, when he was talking. And what was his catch line? Something about believing him.
Oh, the yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and then he's like, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Good stuff, guys. I love Jacob Fatu, man. He's great. What's funny?
Excitement in Andy's voice.
You're like, no, I mean, it was a good it's good stuff. I like it. All right, let's see here. All right, so Cena would come back to the ring after a break to call out Truth, who had attacked him. He said Truth crossed the line, disrespected him. He called him out for a fight, but instead CM Punk would show up. He tried to tell Cena he needs to stop what he's doing and give the crowd a happy ending to his run.
He winked at him. Do you see that when he said happy ending?
Yep. He said they were starting to sound like each other because Punk is making childish insults and Cena is threatening to leave the belt. He said, "You know who I sound like? PG Cena. He's like, you know how you sound like PG Punk. And as Punk was leaving, Truth attacked Cena from behind, and Punk would look at Cena and said, "The truth hurts." As Cena had the STF locked in on him. I'm trying to remember some of the quotes though. He had a Star Wars quote, which was great.
He said, maybe I'm too Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm too much of a Obi-Wan Kenobi looking at Darth Vader trying to find Anakin.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, and Tim, who's like really back into Star Wars lately, I was like his best crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, Punk is great at that.
What you guys think of this interaction though?
I thought it was one of the best they had. I was like, Punk is also great at referencing things and pulling them back to like when it needs to be pulled in. Because I feel like for most of what he was saying, like he said, like, you know, John Boy and like those other things, like what he used to call him. But I do wish that they made or saved this for SummerSlam or something bigger than going to Saudi.
I know. Now
maybe that was the only way that they would agree to do it.
Maybe, yeah.
I wonder if Punk was like, "I'll do it, but you got to give me Cena."
Yeah,
give me Cena.
And who Cena's gonna have at SummerSlam then? Who be like a really big match?
Seth Rollins costs Punk the belt possibly at Night of Champions.
Do you think they fight again?
Yeah, I think it's the third one. I think that's the rumor. They should do it for the Money in the Bank briefcase if he hasn't cashed.
Oh, but then what's Cena gonna do for the rest of the year?
Cody.
He's just gonna fight Cody every single time.
Cody, he already did Randy, right? I mean, there's not many people left.
Yeah, and then he's gonna have his
AJ Styles.
He's gonna have his last.
AJ, I would love AJ Styles one more time, but
he's like beat up John Cena.
What? He's gonna have his last match against Baron Corbin.
Oh my god! Let's talk about some of these quotes though from this segment.
Just like Kurt Angle.
That's so sad to think about.
Full circle.
Let's talk about some of these quotes from this segment that made it like fantastic. All right. He said, so Punk to Cena. He said, John Cena, you say you want to walk away with the belt. You sound like CM Punk. You're trying to steal what I did. I did it. You couldn't stop me. Punk also said he's like, here comes CM Punk to make your retirement tour more palatable. I'd go all the way to Mars to kick your ass. He said,
the rocket fuel.
And then he said, you're not going to fool me twice. And now everybody sees what I've known all along, that you've been selling all these people and all these kids. CM Punk said, I'd have Cena throw my ass over the top rope, you know. Is that what he said? Or am I reading it now?
What? I'd throw my ass over the top rope.
My ass, your ass.
He randomly like says that. He's like, yeah, I'll beat your ass. And you know what? You throw my ass over the top rope.
God damn it. I want to find some good shite. I don't know.
Oh my god. You know what that reminds me of? Of when I don't remember this, Tim, but like George W. Bush when he's like, "Fool me once," he's like, shame on you. You can't fool me again.
Can't fool me again.
Remember the part when he's like talking all serious and he's like, "Now watch this drive.
Now watch this."
He's like, "We're gonna go kill them." Basically, he's like, "Now watch this drive."
Now watch this drive.
That's crazy to think about,
dude.
God. All right, I actually kind of want to like. I mean, I guess I could. I don't want to read through the entire thing, but
no, we don't need to do it.
He said, John boy. He said you think challenging me at Night of Champions is going to stop me? John boy. Just like old times. Here's CM Punk to make your title run interesting. Here's CM Punk to make John Cena's retirement tour watchable. Get the rocket fuel and fuel up the private jet that you fly around in. I will follow you to Mars to kick your ass. I will follow you to hell to prove that I'm better than you. Here's some more truth, ladies and gentlemen. Here's some truth for you, John. It's not all bad. You are a goat, but so am I. And I've beaten you in my hometown. I've beaten you in your hometown. And I will beat you at Night of Champions. You're the goat that I will spit roast and sacrifice to the gods of wrestling. Legends who actually belong on Mount Rushmore. Guys like Terry Funk, Harley Race, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero. the audacity to put yourself on Mount Rushmore once, let alone 4 times. You're a joke. Here's some more truth for you, John. You can't see me. I see through you, and I always have, and that's the truth. God, Punk fucking crushed this entire fucking thing.
Spit roast or split roast? You know what I'm saying?
Stop it,
dude. Also, Andy, I love the emotion that you put into reading that too.
John boy.
You ever get in the split roast videos?
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Trying to do a spit roast, man? Dude, where is my pizza?
What do you mean?
They've been preparing it forever.
Tell Papa John's to hurry it up.
Is it Papa John's?
Yeah, it's Papa Juan's.
Wait.
Bien pendejo. Bien pendejo.
Bien pendejo.
That's what he says, right? Bien pendejo.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's what Penta says. All right. Main event was Cody Rhodes defeating Damian Priest, Shinsuke, and Andrade in a King of the Ring quarterfinal. So Rhodes and Randy have both moved on, as well as Sami Zayn.
Do you think they're both going to be in the final? Cody and Randy.
Maybe that's how we get that match finally.
But then who wins? We already seen it.
I don't know. Cody again?
All right.
I don't know. CM Punk should just fight him all year long.
Yeah, it's true. Instead of Seth Rollins.
Nah, Goldberg versus Cena.
No.
Not on Bret Hart's internet. That's not happening.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart should cost Goldberg the title.
Can you imagine
Goldberg? Do you see the video of him like before and he's at a signing and they're like, "Do you like Bill Goldberg?" He goes, "No," and like that.
Yeah.
Stop tormenting these men. That's it though, fellas. Anything else to add? Anything you heard during this week?
Oh, Joe Henry was in AAA in Mexico, and they did a Spanish version of it.
In Paris and Tokyo.
It's a Spanish version of his song?
Yeah. The intro part of it.
Did they say?
It's like, say his name. All? They did, yeah. And then Mr. Iguana got a huge pop.
Fuck Mr. Iguana. I think WWE signed him.
They did, because I think they saw a vignette for him.
My God.
Mr. Iguana.
No, it's a thing where WWE's going to be like, oh, yeah, people think this is cool and and then they're going to have him every single show.
Yeah, and then it's not cool anymore. Like Danhausen and like R-Truth and like.
Yeah, remember Fandango when the people were singing the song?
Classic.
Yeah, and then no one cared after like 3 weeks.
True.
Go suck a blood money covered dick.
Dude, Eugene. There's another one.
Oh, Eugene, no. No, Andy, don't do it.
Triple H.
What about Festus? Festus was kind of fucked up too.
Festus also, yeah. That's
like,
also
no, like this. He was like,
no, not like that, like this. Imagine Vince McMahon. You've been waiting your whole life to get a job there, and that's what he's doing it. He's doing the tongue thing in front of you.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn it, no, like this.
Was balding, had a skull, was wearing my dad's suit. If anybody doesn't know that story, we'll just end with this. Basically, long story, it's an old story that Luke Gallows told where when he was like 21 and he got signed to WWE, he's like, I showed up bald, and they were like, Johnny Ace was like, got too many bald guys, grow your hair out. And then he's like, yeah, but my hair doesn't like grow that good. And then like he's like, I'm 21 years old. I'm wearing my dad's suit. I have a skullet. Because they told him that he had to start wearing a suit behind the scenes. That's when they WWE got the dress code. He's like, I'm wearing my dad's suit and I have a skullet.
It's like, no, like this.
Yeah, and then Vince gives him the idea for Festus, and he keeps doing the tongue thing wrong, apparently, according to Vince. And Vince says, no, not like that. Damn it, like this. And then he does
I want to know how he was doing it before.
And then the bell would ring, right? And he becomes a serious wrestler.
Yeah. And then he joins the Punk Straight Edge Society because...
Yeah, and he didn't know that was Festus.
Yeah, but he was acting like that. Punk said he only was like that because he was on drugs. Now he's off drugs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's straight edge now.
Oh, so they did say that.
Yeah.
But when he came back with Carl Anderson, Vince forgot.
He didn't know who he was.
Reptile. Ah. Hey. Dude, brother brains from across the world.
Across the world.
That's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. That's one of the funniest wrestling stories I've ever heard. You got to watch the Talking Shop podcast.
Well, guys, we've been rambling.
That's it.
I'll be on earlier next week.
All right. Thank you
for
joining
us for angry about
177. Join us next week for 178.
Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been